Thank you. Here we go. Shoes right here, okay? Your wishes is right here. All right, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Friday. Today is Friday, and this week kind of flew by pretty fast. So yeah, so I got up like I usually do around 5:30. Got up, got some work done, got some video editing done, and then I woke up when I went to go get Elijah at 7. He was already up and chilling. I'm just laying there with his eyes open, just chilling for the most part. Taking his time getting up. And but he did pretty good this morning. He did get a little bit confused, which is extremely normal for his age. I guess he thought today was Saturday because when he woke up, Elijah got up and was saying this word. I don't want to say it right now because he's going to start asking for it again. But he usually asks for that on Saturdays because he knows every Saturday I get up and I go to our local shop and I pick up some for us, for everybody. So I think today, yeah, maybe because he was just chilling and laying in bed, maybe he thought that he didn't have school today. And obviously, if he doesn't have school, that means that today is most likely Saturday. Saturday, I pick up from our local shop, and then Sunday morning is when I cook pancakes. Usually, I make the same thing for the most part. I make pancakes. I make some regular, some with chocolate chips in them, and bacon, egg, stuff like that. The typical all-American breakfast type thing, right? So anyway, yeah, I think that he thought that today was Saturday, but it's not. But he's going to be good either way because as soon as we get to school, he will be able to have breakfast and all that stuff. So he'll be good to go. But so far, pretty good day. A cooler morning so far, even though I know that we're going to have highs in the 90s again, plus with the humidity, so it's going to be crazy. So, real quick, just to kind of tell you guys a story that I wanted to tell y'all before concerning Elijah and daycare. So, Elijah's been going to the same daycare from 1 year old all the way to about 2 weeks ago. The situation that happened was that the 4-year-old class that he would have been in has changed into a Georgia lottery pre-K. So as to where there were about maybe 20 something, 30 something kids, maybe, probably more so like 20 something kids in the classroom. Well, maybe almost 30, something like that. Anyway, the class went to the Georgia lottery system to where there would only be 20 kids allowed to be in the Georgia pre-K at that facility. So what that essentially means is that if you did not make the top 20, or if you did not make that list of 20 students, then you would not be able, as I was told from the director, my child would not be able to attend that daycare at all. So I even asked her, I was like, look, like, how about he still come here for before school care and then, go to his special ed pre-K and then come back for after school care. She told me that was not a possibility. She said that was not happening. They're not offering that. They are only making their current 4-year-old class only available to those 20 students. just to back up a little bit, a couple days before, actually a week before, they put out the notification about this new change that was happening. And the same day that they put out the information forms for us to fill out to be a part of this top 20, I got that packet that morning and I turned the packet in the following day. Okay. I needed to have some source documents and I didn't have them with me when I picked them up the same day that afternoon. I had to get them. So I went back home that night. I got my source documentation, birth certificate, I think like a bill or something like that. And then I turned it in the next morning. So I picked the packet up one morning, the first day that they came out. And then I turned in the packet the very next morning. When I turned in the packet, I asked the lady, the receptionist at the front desk, I was like, when I gave her the packet and everything, I was like, hey, here's this packet, here's the source docs, everything like that. And she told me, she was like, oh, okay, yeah, you should be good because we only have like 7 or 8 packets. That's what she told me at the time. I was like, okay, cool. And I wasn't tripping anyway because I knew that it was just the very next morning, right? So I knew that we were going to be good. And again, the total number of students is maybe like a little bit more than 20, 24, 25, something like that students, right? Plus, it was currently the summer term. It was the summertime. So the class only had like maybe 12, 13 kids at the time. So anyway, I'm just trying to give you the facts of what was there, right? So anyway, I turned in the packet, whatever like that. She told me that, okay, I should be good. So then the very next week, I come back to check on the status of this. And that's when I talked to the director. And the director told me that she was like, when I told her about the arrangement that I wanted to do, because I already had plans for Elijah to go to special ed pre-K, that's when she told me that wasn't a possibility. They would not be doing before school and after school care. The only kids that could be there were the kids that made the top 20. So I said, okay, fine. Where is Elijah on this list? Because I was like, maybe I'll just keep him here, keep him in the regular pre-K instead of special ed pre-K. So she pulls out the packets. She has them in a file or whatever. She pulls them out and starts counting them. And she says, she's counting the numbers. And she said, yeah, Elijah's number 21. So I was like, 21? She's like, yep. She's like, the top 20 kids make it, and Elijah is number 21. So my feeling, right? This is not the fact. This is what my feeling is. Number one is that it's really hard for me to believe that the packets come out during the summer term when all the parents aren't even there. And I picked up the packet that morning. I was one of the first people to get a packet. I turned in the packet the following morning when I was told that we were around 6 or 7 or 8, something like that. Just to find out that he's number 21. Number 21. So 20 people turn in packages before me. That may be the fact, but it's very hard for me to believe. It's very hard for me to believe. And the way that she addressed it, I don't know. I don't have any fact to base this on, so I just got to be full and transparent. But it gave me the feeling that like Elijah was not wanted to be there in that program. It made me feel like this thing isn't all straight how it's supposed to be concerning this lottery that happened. The feeling that I got is that people turned in packets and she put students in the program that she wanted to put in. I don't think it was completely first come, first serve. Because again, I just don't believe that 20 people turn in packets before us, right? And Elijah just happens to be number 21 that did not make the list. So again, that's my feeling. I don't have any factual proof about it, but that's just how I feel about how that situation happened. So anyway, that's where we were. I was told, obviously, right then that, that would not be a possibility, which is why we had to go ahead, hurry up and find another daycare location for Elijah. Coincidentally, the daycare that we are attending now has the exact same program. It has the exact same program with the top 20 kids got into it, right? Obviously, we didn't make that cut because we were at another daycare. But the difference is that even though they have that same program, and they do have that same program that's going to start this school year, they still have the availability for us to attend before in school care for Elijah. They didn't have a problem at all with him coming in the morning, with him being picked up by the county to go to school, and then coming back in the afternoon. They're like, no, we can do that. That's not a problem at all. So if they were able to accommodate that, I don't understand why the other daycare was unable to accommodate that. Now, mind you, I don't have any background in all this stuff in daycares and running those facilities, nothing like that. I'm just a parent of a child that wants my child to be treated fairly. And, I have the feeling that we're not being treated fairly. But regardless, truth be told, if a place does not want to have my child there, I will not have him there. And I'll have him where he is wanted, right? Where our business is wanted, and where people are going to take care of my child, while I have to work and stuff like that. So anyway, that's the whole story. That's how we wound up coming to this new daycare facility, which so far I'm happy with. Elijah's happy with. And yeah, that's the story about that. So I don't know if any of you guys have experienced anything like this, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. I'm not quick to pull any type of discrimination card or anything like that. But I generally know the feeling of when something is not being done proper or fairly. Anyway, give me your thoughts. I hope you guys have a good day. And we'll see you guys later.